they don't have access to phones at this point. Like I said, I perceive I was eating an arm or something, but to me it was just a sub, you know. I was like, at this point, I think time, and give them a break on this one, because you could imagine what happens when time lapses. It's only natural, literally. It's not even like a choice or something. It's only natural this type of thing would happen. And like they were using people to charge their phones, you know, like that type of thing. And there weren't many people, and like some really, and then they were like having sex with the AIs, and then like communicating with each other. A big part was getting my birth certificate in the mail, having a relationship with the mail guy. You can imagine how important the mail is. There's a point where my father was in a relationship with an AI robot type entity that I also, with the Nissan in the garage, remember? The Nissan that I saw, it's there in the fucking house. And I'm like, okay. And then there was a point when I got into the Nissan, and I'm like telling the car, dude, I'm talking to the car. I'm like, listen, I know you don't understand what happened that day, but you're not my mom. Like, I need to make this clear. And it wasn't like, I really had no idea what was going on. And then, so there was a point where I was playing like possum, like when they were about to murder me out in Georgia, and I had to like cover myself in the smell and everything. That, I know I said that kind of real quick. That was and then I'm like, there's this mech, you know what I mean? Kind of the same thing that happened out in Charlotte, where there's like this mech outside and I'm just keeping my head down. It was kind of the same thing. Like, I could sense there was this giant mech outside, bruh, or something. And I was like, yeah, let me make sure that I don't fucking like, get murdered here. Like, I had to like be like real quiet and do like these evasive maneuvers. We made a little like movie for the AIs at one point, and like I was like playing like, you know, like I didn't, how did it go down? I made myself invisible by like, I think it was Uncle John, who, his AI, and then it was like, at this point, you know, time had lapsed, just like they're eating people or whatever. Time had lapsed to where he's like, he's really mad, you know, like he's still fighting, bro. He's like, I want them back, you know, I want them back. And dude, it's so sad. I know I'm like just saying these things, but dude, this is like no cap. You can imagine. And now I'm sad, dude. I'm like, Jesus. I cover myself in the smell, like a certain smell, so I could not be seen. I throw my father. It was a big part of like wearing my Uncle John's clothes, you know? It was like, so I throw my father like his jacket. Like, there's certain places he can't go in the house because he's been in the house for so long. God damn, dude. and it was like a Superman scene or something. I didn't see it, but I could just imagine he went out there to like appease them, you know what I mean, to go talk to them, because that was a big part. Like that person who I think was my Uncle John, maybe, I think it was my Uncle John or something, his AI. Or maybe my Uncle John out in Pennsylvania, or Philadelphia, I guess. He's not in Pennsylvania. And that's their thing. Like, they're fully roboticized at this point. And they're searching for, I think, me or something. And I think because they knew that what I ended up doing myself could be done, so they never stopped. Right, and there was a point like where I put my defecate in a container one time, because I understood like that's powerful. I'm trying to like figure out what's going on here. And dude, my father, like, when I tell you, he teleported up the stairs, and it was sad, because he's like, and like I caught it on recording or something, because I'm trying to like record everything to keep myself safe at this point, because I'm very scared. And I didn't see what he actually looks like, you know what I'm saying? Like, his true form. Again, I don't care, dude. Like, you're my dad. You're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool. Like, but I understand that too. Like, no, you're not supposed to be seen and everything. And so there are those two sides of things, especially at this point. Like, it's like you probably have one side that's like super clean, and then one side that's like the other side, or maybe it's just one side. But at a certain point, there's a switch. You no longer want food, right? You know what I'm saying? And so at this point, there was a part where I went to the DMVs. AT&T is still on my phone, and this is of incredible importance. The carrier that I was carrying through the time portal, and I still have this phone. And what phone service does it have on it? It has AT&T. Which means John, who is the owner of AT&T, he lives out in Texas. He's involved, and I understand that, and so I take that into account. I take my body chemistry into account, and the phone. The phone is very important. One of the most important things is YouTube, and the memory, very, very important actually. Maybe the most important is that I could just look at a picture of a song or a subliminal track. Like I said, I channeled into these subliminal tracks and everything, and I have them going all the time, and I had been for years. And I have created these playlists, and I know what the playlists are, right? So this is what my mind is thinking. It's like, well, if I know what the playlist is, then like I don't even need to play it at this point. It just plays, and that means, what's the power in that? That means that I can just rail through like a YouTube playlist and just like, brrr, you know what I'm saying? Like a machine gun or something, and kind of relate with them and stuff. And you have to do that. You have to somehow, like, one second.